And welcome into the Wheelhouse, your Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyle. Matt Mastreams, Michael Spillett, hanging out with you as always on these Sunday mornings. And Matt, how are you?
I am doing pretty good. I'm feeling, it's like the weather is getting warmer. And this morning I had to go do some go outside and do some things, and you can tell the weather there's not like that frosty feel, in the morning. So I kind of like that. Spring and summer is coming. Summer's here, summer's coming, and all those the playoffs are going to start soon, Mike. It's like I'm getting that feeling in that like, ooh, here we go.
I will tell you, at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's a little bit colder than say 8 in the morning, and there is still that little chill at 4 in the morning. I will say, during the week, that's what time I'm outside. So
yep.
That's still a little bit there. But yeah, took the dog for a walk this morning, Matt, at around, I want to say 10, and it was already 70.
Yeah,
so that was nice.
Yep. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, it was so nice this morning. So nice to feel that early. But we do got some cold weather coming later in the week, but you didn't come here to listen to us. I mean,
no,
we're not standing in a green screen and got a nice shoes on and stuff.
By the way, if you like meteorologists, there's this guy that I follow on Instagram. He's a meteorologist in Houston, and he'll post videos of him like in the car, like rapping to a song or singing to a song.
I think I've seen him.
And then he'll throw some lines from that song into his forecast thing that he does. So
yeah,
go give that a follow. It's pretty funny. So
nice.
We were hesitant whether to say we are recording this on Saturday evening and or say that we are live Sunday, and that probably just gave it away. So we are pre-recording on Saturday. So that's why I have my DU shirt still on. They don't play for another half hour. So if they win, great. It matches our Sunday pod drop release. Otherwise, I'm still supporting them. So that's how it's going to work. We got a lot to get into today. Matt will give us a Masters update as well. We'll go through the NBA playoff scenarios. It has been a wild finish, at least in the West. Some of the teams are locked up. Some teams know who they are playing, and I know why you're shaking your head. And the East is, I think I saw, Matt, this is the first time, I don't know what I pushed, why it's making it all staticky, but this is one of the first times, Matt, that, does it still sound weird?
Kind of.
Anyway, this is one of the first times in history, Matt, that 20 of the 25 teams 20 of the 25 seeds, I want to say, because now there's extended seeds, do not know who they're playing heading into the last 2 games of the season.
That's crazy. And
yeah.
And that could lead to the, like, saying that there's they what do they call it, parity in the NBA. You don't know what's going on, and then that creates a competitive so we have there's competitiveness coming down the stretch here, and you're not going to have those layoff rest situations. So that could be interesting for some teams that kind of look forward to that situation to rest guys. I know we got a couple games left, so but still there's guys that could benefit from a rest like that, and being locked in a competitive situation, not being able to do that might make some could potentially make some interesting storylines for the playoffs.
There you go. And we will announce the winner of our men's tournament bracket challenge. So that winner will get, again, a copy of MLB The Show 24 if you do not already own that, and also or a Christian Brown jersey. So stay on the lookout.
Braun? Isn't it pronounced Braun?
It looks like Braun. Braun from Game of Thrones.
That somebody
Brown.
I got into an argument with somebody about that the other day. He was like, "No, it's Braun, dude." Like, I understand it's Braun, but it sounds like Brown, if that makes sense.
I still want to say Braun all the time because
Me
every time
too.
I
Me
think of
too.
him or think of saying his name, I can see
Hmm.
his last name and I want to
Right.
pronounce it the way
Right.
it's spelled. But
Exactly.
that is not
So,
how. Yeah, I wonder how many people still mispronounce his name. I'm sure there are some.
I bet daily, like I bet that dunk. I bet there's somewhere you can find a sports station or something that just like they do highlights or something, and they Christian Braun from the Denver Nuggets. I guarantee you it happened. I guarantee you it happened.
Yeah, there's no doubt that I'm sure like people either in his own family or at Kansas
Hmm.
or somewhere still pronounces it wrong, and
Hmm.
I wouldn't doubt it. So yeah, we will get into the NBA, NHL, also winding down. Obviously, the both NCAA tournaments are over. It's kind of left a big time to not have anything to do, Matt. Following brackets or following the games. And
Right.
so, what do you fill your time with now? Obviously, like you mentioned, the postseason's coming up for both the NBA and NHL, and this is the NHL, or excuse me, the NCAA hockey championship. So obviously, we have DU and Boston College. Again, we're pre-recording on Saturday, so that game is going down here in about a half hour. So we will not know the outcome when this podcast comes out tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. So we will not be able to either be sad or happy about another Denver team winning a championship. So we could be celebrating at a later time. Who knows? Also, keep in mind, program note for Monday, we will have a live show during the WNBA draft. There's going to be a lot of hype around this one. Obviously, Caitlin
Yep.
Clark, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, Mika Mule. I mean, there's going to be a lot of big college names, Matt, in this draft.
Yeah. Brink's coming out. I don't know if you did you.
Cam,
Yeah. Oh man, it's gonna be it's there's just there's it's I'm excited to see how the draft in this situation the WNBA goes down, because I mean, I can you think of another time where you had this many superstars, coming into a league, because these girls are superstars, these ladies are superstars. So they're
not according to Diana Taurasi, though.
man, see,
Not
she's been
according to
getting
her.
she's been getting such just getting tore up from that. And it's like I understand that you want to elevate, everybody coming in, you want to elevate them, stuff like that, but it's like it's still that they're ballers, they have that mindset that they want to that it's just that competitiveness. And I understand it could be difficult to um just to see that from her, because I love DT, man. I think we've talked about this before. I had a huge crush on her when I was younger and she was playing in college. So, but I love how it's, because now what it's, and she's smart about it, because she's setting up.
Is she trying to fire her? She's trying to fire these newcomers up. Is that what's going
Yeah.
on?
And
Because
she's,
I've read a lot. Sorry, I've read a
no,
lot
it's okay.
that, and I kind of joked around about this in our pre-show chatter, Matt. I was like, I wonder if she's like a little jealous or a little bitter that a new wave of literal, like you said, superstars from college
Yeah.
are coming into the NBA. And then paraphrasing here, she said, you've guys gone against, college players,
18
but
and
now,
19. Yeah. 18 and
yeah,
19 year
now
olds.
you're going up against grown women. That's the reality. And I wanted to say the reality is the WNBA is going to get a whole lot of eyeballs on it that it's never had before.
And she's smart by saying this stuff, because now I mean, what's going to be one of the most watched or looked at games is when Indiana plays Diana Taurasi's team.
Is Taurasi the LeBron of the WNBA, by the way? Isn't she close to 40?
Yeah, she could be. She could be.
It seems like she's been around a while. Is that why Caitlin Clark's not going to play for Team USA? Because she's mad at Diana Taurasi?
I don't know. That was something too that I noticed, and I was like, I didn't understand why would, because I know she's played with Team USA before, hasn't she?
Yeah, but I don't think Taurasi was a part of a part of that. I don't know. Could be wrong.
It's so yeah. I mean, Travasi's selling a lot of. I think what she's doing too, and I don't know if she's doing it intentionally, but she's doing it. Is she's selling a lot of tickets?
And maybe it is intentional.
Yeah, and it's smart. If it is, it's smart because you're just putting all this out there and you're creating storylines for. We're presuming she's Caitlin's going to be the number one pick and she's going to go to the Indiana team, and then that Indiana Phoenix matchup is going to be huge. Everybody looking forward to that, or whatever team that Angel Reese goes to, and you're going to have to look at what other matchups that you're going to see, but especially with because Travasi said it, that whole little question that was asked or comment that she made was like to all the girls that are coming in, and I know it got specific with Caitlin, but it was to all the girls. So she's throwing Angel in there. She's like we said, she's throwing Brink in there. So it's gonna be an interesting season, and I think it's gonna bring a lot of new eyes. We're gonna be watching it. Right. And I'm going to tell you, I don't watch a lot of WNBA.
So they play, I want to say they play 50 games. Is that right? Does that sound right?
Because their season starts in June or July.
I'm not sure when it starts, but hold on. I'm going to, this guy, it's a Saturday afternoon. This guy's sleeping.
How can he be asleep on a Saturday afternoon?
Exactly. So the WNBA, they play only 40 games. So it's more than half less than the NBA plays. How about this, Matt? The Indiana Fever, 36 of their 40 games now are going to be nationally televised.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and how about this? The Las Vegas Aces play the Indiana Fever, I think their second game of the season. They had to move from wherever the Aces play. I think they got their own arena. I think Tom Brady and what's his name, Chuck E. Cheese over there, the pumpkin pie haircutted freak that owns the Raiders. I think
Mark Davis.
I think they built a new arena for the Aces. Yeah. And so they have their own cool. It's a cool arena. I don't know if you've done like a virtual tour. It's pretty cool. But they have to play, Matt, at T-Mobile Arena, where the Summer League and the NBA is played, where the Las Vegas Golden Knights play. Yep. Where the future NBA team in Vegas is probably going to play. They had to move the Las Vegas Aces, defending champions in the WNBA, mind you, to that bigger arena, just in speculation of Indiana drafting Caitlin Clark first, because they're going to need a bigger arena to hold all those people.
And see, there you go. Sell some tickets, man. Like Diana Taurasi's smart, man. She's smart. And I feel like, that's kind of a part of what she was doing. And all these girls, all these women should be doing that with these, elevating them at the same time. But like, it's going to be fun watching this. It's going to be fun seeing it. And you're going to see, we're going to see what it could look like. And I hope I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Cause I've watched WNBA games in the past, but I've never said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to watch this game. So, and I've never had anything wrong with the product. I just never got involved. And now I have a reason to get involved. And it's big a reason why. It's because of these ladies coming out of college now.
And remember when the WNBA had two cities that they were looking to expand to.
Yeah,
we've talked on this a little bit ago. San Francisco and Denver. San Francisco ultimately got it, but we were trying to think of team names for what the Denver franchise. It would have been so cool. I would have probably looked, Matt, into some kind of season ticket package.
Me too. I would have as well. I don't know. I wonder how much they would have been though. Right now.
I was just gonna say, unfortunately, it would probably be not as expensive as the NBA, let's face it. Especially a team's first season probably wouldn't be, I would imagine, too terrible. But it would have been something to look into, Matt. And I read this somewhere, I don't know if it's true, but expansion teams, I don't know if they don't really necessarily do an expansion draft, but I think they do something along the lines of it's like you get like a top 5 pick if you're an expansion team or something like that. Like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because how do they do it?
Totally wrong,
how do they do that in the in the NFL didn't don't expansion teams get one of the top picks?
Yeah, something like that. But in hockey, they did an expansion draft. Remember when the Vegas Knights came into existence? They got to pick off certain people from certain teams.
Yes.
And there was some kind of contingency where some people could be touched, some people couldn't.
Right.
I think a team had to elect players.
You had to elect eligible players, and they had to have certain criteria. Like you had to have a veteran, you had to have a certain amount of salary. It was specific criteria.
Because remember the Vegas Golden Knights, I forgot who they got from. All reaction, zero research. But they got a pretty big name from somebody, and everyone was surprised that the team that dude came from was able to be selected. But that team was like, peace out, dude.
Right.
Basically you're releasing someone, but he's going to another team. And I don't know how the contracts works when that happens. I don't know if that expansion team takes over that contract. I would imagine so. You're not trading them. You're not, like the Broncos release Russell Wilson. They still have to pay 100 million of his contract still. So I don't understand how the contract switch works. I'm assuming the new team would pick up that contract. I don't know.
I think that's that's part of the criteria. I think that they have to put like a certain amount of their high salaried players, because your high salary players are your best players, right? So you would have to put up, but you can put a lock on certain players, I think, because remember, you can't just go and pick off the team's best players. There have to be eligible players.
Yeah, and I want to say, God, it's gonna bother me now who the
it was somebody kind of significant, wasn't it?
Wasn't it Marc-Andre Fleury, the goalie? Didn't they snatch him from Pittsburgh?
I think so.
Or did he get picked up later?
It had something to do with because I can't remember the situation, but they picked him up through, I think it was kind of a later scenario, one of those where he was released or wasn't. I can't remember exactly how it goes.
Yeah, it was Marc-Andre Fleury. He was taken in that expansion draft.
Yeah, So
that's who
I remember. It had something to do like that. Yeah,
I had his name in the back of my mind, but I don't remember if he was, because it was 2017 when this happened.
He was a significant player. Yeah,
and he just came off just a couple years removed from winning a Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and look at first year of Golden Knights existence, they went to the Stanley Cup final. So sometimes it works, Matt. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I remember that whole situation. I was stuck in traffic, and my truck was, my truck didn't have any problems, but I was stuck in traffic, and it was really hot. And I remember they were talking about that on the radio, and it's things like that when you're in your vehicle a lot. Kind of remember. I remember when Peyton Manning was signed with the Denver Broncos. I remember where I was in my truck. No, I was in my boat fishing. I remember that, significant things that the sports that pop up. I remember that.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So it was Marc-Andre Fleury who was, and we were all going back to the WNBA. We were all hoping that Denver would get a team. We still haven't thought of a name yet, but it was awesome. I don't know if they released what San Francisco's name is going to be yet.
When did that? So that's this season,
I think
right?
They start. I don't know if it's this season. I think it's next year. I think it's 2025.
Oh yeah. So we wouldn't have got Caitlin anyway, right?
I mean, they would get a Cameron Brink or a Cardoso or an Angel Reese. Can you imagine Angel Reese?
So they will start this season. They are a current team.
No, I'm saying. I thought you said if it were to start this season.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If Denver had a team this season, but I don't even know if they have. I don't know if they have a. I don't even know if they have a draft pick this season. I think it all starts 2025.
Right.
But yeah, so, and I think they're going to be playing is it Chase Center now where the Warriors play? I think they're going to be playing there.
Oh, nice. Because that's what I was. Weren't they? Because it was if we got a team, I mean, I don't want to go and get into the weeds with this, but I just wonder, like, then who would own it? Would somebody have to buy it? How would that work? Would the Cronkies
That's
own it?
another,
Like,
and maybe that's why Denver didn't get it, because they didn't have that set up yet. Who knows? Who knows what's behind the scenes?
yeah, who knows? We don't know. We don't know.
No, we never know anything. That's why
Nothing.
we're all reaction, zero research. So
Zero
that is our hashtag. So yeah, I just looked it up. The WNBA is coming to Golden State. The WNBA team is coming to the Bay Area. Tip off the 2025 season, and they will play at Chase Center. And there's still no name. It's just called the WNBA Bay Area.
Bay Area.
So you can place a deposit on season tickets. Hold on, I'm going to open this link because I'm curious now. San Francisco obviously is a very, very expensive place to live. So I'm going to imagine that that is not bad, Matt. Holy crap.
What is it?
Golden State WNBA deposits, Matt, $25 for a deposit.
Wait, what? How does that? So you deposit 25, and then what's next?
I don't know. Let me click on what's next. So I'm gonna select that.
Just
New
get some tickets.
Deposit. How about this? Courtside club deposit and new sideline club deposit. They're all $25. So if Denver got a team, Matt, you're dang tooting I'm placing a $25 deposit.
And you definitely could too. And would you mess around? I wouldn't mess around. I'd just go get courtside, man.
So I just put two courtside deposit, $50.
There you see.
WNBA team.
Boom. That's
you can
hilarious.
even pay in 4 different payments of $13 if you wanted to.
Are you serious?
That is unfortunate.
Well, I like that might change, man.
But again,
that might change.
But again,
that might change with all this.
You don't
with
know
all
what's
the,
going to happen. Yeah.
With the future that because the WNBA has a really bright future. I just hope it just keeps bling or stays bright.
But that is kind of unfortunate. But again, you don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't know how that team is going to do. You just don't know. And there's only 12 WNBA teams right now, Matt. So,
right.
And I don't know.
I'm sure we can probably be a potential on the next expansion.
Oh yeah, if they were close this year, I would imagine they'd be close the next time that happens. But again, I don't know who's taking on the ownership of the Bay Area. If they're playing at Chase Center, I'm imagining that whoever owns the Warriors is taking that on.
That's what you would hope that the Cronkies would do. Yeah.
And I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
Just put them on TV.
Yeah.
But I don't need them on TV, Matt, because I'll be sitting courtside at every game.
Right. We'll be sitting courtside slapping hands and stuff with everybody.
Yeah.
You can be Diana Taurasi, Spike Lee.
Yeah, I would be too.
You can yell at Diana Taurasi when she's in
when
town.
the Indiana Fever comes to play the Denver, whatever they're going to be called, the Denver Mountains. I don't know. The Denver. It still bothers me that we haven't thought of a name. But when the Indiana Fever come and play the Denver WNBA team in the future, I will be wearing my newly ordered Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever jersey.
Go
look those up, by the way. They have a Stranger Things styled.
I know
Fever.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. So that's happening on Monday night. So stay tuned for our full court press show. That's what we title our when we do a basketball show. So we'll be keeping up with the WNBA draft on Monday night. Staying in the NBA, man, if we did a fire and ice today, this would definitely be on the ice list, Matt. I don't know if you saw this, but the answer, Allen Iverson,
oh my God,
got a statue. I don't even know if you can call it a statue. This is embarrassing.
It's an action figure.
This is embarrassing for the 76ers as a franchise. This is embarrassing for Allen Iverson. And I know AI has to just put on a brave face, Matt, and say, thanks for this statue.
Yeah.
This is just embarrassing, Matt. And I feel bad for Allen Iverson. He played in Denver for a couple years. And if he were to get a statue here, Matt, in Denver, it would probably look better than what the 76ers gave him. He played in Philadelphia for 12 plus seasons, Matt. And he got this.
Dude,
This is bad.
That's terrible. I mean, he's like, what the hell's going? You know, I would hope, because I was looking around here. I thought I had my little Brett Favre football player that I have back here, but I think my kids got it again. So I was trying to find it.
See, look at Matt behind me. I have a bigger R2D2.
It's basically that's basically what they gave him. That's basically, it was like, here you go. Like that was just terrible. They couldn't do at least a life size one of him in some way, shape, or form. I would love it. I don't think there's cause to it, but if there could be a way to do that with Allen Iverson here, and I think that would show like another way to stick it to Philly, you know, because Philly, man, I can't stand Eagles fans and I can't stand Sixers fans. You know, they're starting to get really up there with Cowboy fans and Laker fans with me.
And if you're listening, Paisan Sports, it's embarrassing for you guys. And we have a show on our network called Paisan Sports, and they are from Philly. And I want to hear their take on this statue, because this is Matt.
What are they doing?
I'm mad that the Denver Nuggets NBA championship banner. I am mad that the Lakers fake in-season tournament championship banner is bigger than the Denver Nuggets NBA championship. I'm mad at how small that banner is, Matt. The Avalanche have bigger banners. Why couldn't they make the Nuggets first ever time in the NBA Finals championship banner bigger than that? It's almost the size of like their division championships banners.
You would think they would be the same size, at least the same size of the Avalanche.
Yeah, and yeah, so I'm even mad at that, and I feel bad for, again, Allen Iverson to get this little GI Joe that he got.
It's like a Dundee. It's like a Dundee award. It's just a little.
They had their own Dundee awards, and they're like, AI, you get best player ever in our franchise's history, until Joel Embiid will probably get like a 10-foot statue when he retires.
Which, you know, he got hurt again, unfortunately. But...
yeah, he's going to be on a crutch in his statue, but at least it'll be like 10 feet tall. And he's going to have a little tear coming down his cheek, Matt, holding his fake MVP trophy.
He's got that MVP trophy.
Did you see another ice list item? We should have just did a fire and ice, but another ice list item. Did you see he's already complaining about the MVP and he's not eligible? God,
yeah, and he's yep. And he's playing it off.
You know how much I hate that? I would rather give LeBron the freaking MVP in spite of Joel Embiid.
Yeah, he's really. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, or he just truly doesn't.
He's trying to change it again because he knows Jokic is going to win his third.
Well, not according to Shaq and Kenny
and Gilbert Arenas.
Well, geez, dude, I can't take that dude seriously anymore.
Who are giving just because you played? Who are giving these dudes mics, by the way?
I can't take him. He said he's been saying some dumb stuff.
Hey, you want to be on the side of going against Gilbert Arenas? YouTube Kwame Brown and Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard Kwame go at him?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love Kwame. And Kwame said something about he went at LeBron a little bit earlier, too, again. And you know what's funny about LeBron? I've been listening. Have you heard that podcast?
I will refuse to listen to it.
I mean, the first episode, I
don't mind JJ Redick, but I will not listen to it.
It's an X's and O's podcast. It's not about like LeBron or LeBron's life. It's about X's and O's. But
there's got to be a point in time where he says something about himself, though.
Oh yeah, he does. He talks about himself being really good. He's like, I'm the best at some of the things that he's explaining.
Yeah,
he does.
But
like I almost shut it off after the first episode because like they all popped open a bottle of wine and started pouring wine, which I'm okay, drink wine, but it was like 30 seconds into the first episode and I'm like, these dudes are popping open wine.
That's not fair, because when Kwame Brown was screaming at Gilbert Arenas, he grabbed a 40 and he was like, yo, I'm gonna drink a beer while Gilbert Arenas is saying whatever he's saying. And then Gilbert Arenas is like, put the beer down. You don't need a beer while you're talking. And Kwame Brown was like, I'm grown, right? So I understand it, but hey, if Kwame can't have alcohol, neither can them too.
Right. All right. So it was but I enjoy those podcasts. I enjoy this podcast. But anyway, like, yeah, I mean, with Philly and Joel, it's when he does with that stuff with the MVP, and he just dusted it off this year. He's glad he's not a part of it. But last year it meant so much to him, and he's just, I don't know. I don't know how to take it. If he's like seriously doing this to drive a narrative or to bring sympathy on him, or if he just doesn't truly understand the situation and how he's doing it and just saying it because it's how he feels in the moment about it, but he doesn't really think that it's an issue with it either way. Because last year it certainly sounded like he was begging for the thing.
Oh, he was.
It sounded like that. And then this year he just doesn't care about it because he's not involved, which makes total sense. But just say, I don't care about it. I'm not involved.
Well, he can be involved because he hadn't played 65 games.
But then, like you said, he pushed that narrative.
Well, again, he's probably like Shaq and Gilbert Arenas called him up and said, "Hey, we don't want Jokic to win again. So just pout about the MVP award and how you're not gonna win it because you can't stay healthy, you can't even play half a season, and maybe it'll change the narrative."
And
but Gilbert Arenas said he's the worst MVP in the last 40 years.
That was just stupid.
Dude, Steve Nash won back-to-back. I like Steve Nash, but there's no way a guy like Steve Nash should have won back-to-back MVPs.
Not when Kobe Bryant was still doing Kobe Bryant stuff.
Statistically, Jokic had a better season last year than he did the previous two. He's having a better season this year than he had those two MVP seasons. And last year, man, he capped it off with a championship.
And that last year was his most deserving year of that award, and he didn't win it because of what Kendrick Perkins said.
Well, and also MVP or Nikola Jokic was tired of the conversation.
And he shut it down.
He kind of took the foot off the gas as well.
He shut it down. And this season, I don't understand why like they're trying to push with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with Shaq and Kenny. They're trying to push, like they're talking about like how good, or it might have been Gilbert Arenas that was talking about how good Jordan and Kobe was, and no, this was Shaq that was talking about that how good they were, but they didn't win it every time. Why didn't they win it every time? But why does this guy get a win it every time? But they didn't get a win it every time, and they were the best when they were playing, and same thing with LeBron James and blah 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 blah.
So, and then somebody said you can't keep giving it to Jokic. It looks bad for the league. Why? Because he's a big, clumsy white dude. Is that it?
Yeah, and then
are they pushing race again?
That's where it goes. Like it always goes that way when they throw why they can't, because that's truly why they think he can't win it, Mike, is because he's a unathletic, dorky white guy. That's why
How did he win it 2 years already?
That's how they truly. But you don't even have to look at the stats, and then because people will throw out the stats that they try to take those stats and throw them out the window. Yeah, okay, let's throw the stats out the window. Watch the freaking games.
Yeah.
You just have to watch the games and how he impacts the game, how he impacted all those playoffs. He's the Floyd Mayweather Jr. of the NBA. He computerizes. He takes stuff in and dissects it in his brain. Then he comes out and he dominates it. Like, this is why I think even though that game last night was dog turds, it was terrible. That was probably the worst basketball game from the Denver Nuggets I've seen this whole season in a long time. It was terrible, and it was terrible timing.
I was gonna say at least like 18 minutes of it were terrible.
Well, that's what you only remember the end. Like,
yeah,
it's you only remember like what happened to get to that point. 17 minutes and 3 minutes? Victor had, or 1 minute? What was it? It was something ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's just, how do you do that? And then the plays down the stretch with Malone and Murray throwing the ball in and then the timeout. Like, what are we doing here? You shouldn't be making these mistakes. You shouldn't be doing this late into the season, especially when you're trying to win these games.
And when you're trying to hold on and possibly win the number 1 seed in the
And
West
put
for
your-
the second
yeah.
straight year.
Put yourself in another situation just to run through the playoffs again. But you mess around and do that. Barring that, taking that and thinking what it is, I still don't think that there's a team that can beat this team in a 7-game series, because Joker he would dissect all of that happened, and he would come out the next game or the next game. It would be always a different Joker, a different way he's going to win, because that's how he does it.
He comes out of a timeout. He comes out of this next quarter. He comes out of halftime a different Joker. Not just the next game, but he'll dissect it in a timeout, Matt. He'll take over the huddle,
yes,
and say, "Hey, we're changing what our game plan was."
And
right? that's not going to work. Here's how it's going to work.
And that's why right there it's like you cannot. And if Murray had what 30 some points last night,
Yeah,
that's
game
why
high 35.
Yeah, and that's why if these guys, like, if Joker's going to do that in a 7-game series, I just don't see a team beating Denver. So there's still that there, but you definitely don't like to see games like that when you're trying to get to a certain position in the standings. You don't want to see those games, and we saw that, and that was terrible. That was just terrible.
Okay, I want to go back to the MVP discussion, because my criteria, I guess, Matt, not necessarily how good you were throughout the season, your stats, yada, yada, whatever. How good is your team if you take these players off of it? We'll start with the Denver Nuggets, Matt. Everyone talks about when Nikola Jokic goes to the bench to get a rest.
The non-Jokic minutes.
The non-Jokic minutes. Minus maybe the Atlanta game, Matt, a couple of games ago. The bench had like 50 points. That was probably their greatest performance.
There's outliers. Yeah.
Against an Atlanta team, let's face it, their season's over. They didn't have Trae Young, who just came back, by the way. They're just it is what it is. You're playing a bunch of subs, bench players. But how good is the Denver Nuggets without Nikola Jokic, Matt? They're not fighting for a number 1 seed.
No.
And I'm not discrediting Murray. I'm not discrediting Gordon, MPJ, none of the KCP, the bench. I'm not Malone's coaching. I'm not discrediting any of that, Matt. But even with a healthy Murray all season long, you take Jokic off of this team, what are they?
They're a different team. They're a completely different basketball team.
They're not fighting for a number 1 seed, Matt. They're scratching and clawing to get into the play-in tournament.
No, and they're going to play different. It's not, you're not going to have that high pick and roll as at the way it is now. The Aaron Gordon dunker spot goes away. He's probably going to be pushed up more in the post position, or he might even be pushed out onto the wing and be turned into a scorer type of position, because you don't have the presence of Nikola Jokic making those passes and anticipating what the defense is going to do. No, it changes the entire way the Denver Nuggets play basketball. Sure, DeAndre or Jordan or whoever they would have at center at that point. I don't even know if
let's just say Jokic didn't even exist.
This would be a totally different basketball team, and I don't think they would be.
Are you starting Zeke Naji because he was a high draft pick, and then DeAndre's your backup center? This team is barely a play-in tournament team.
It's a different team. And who knows? Maybe Jamal Murray is the Anthony Edwards type of player that we know he can be. Jamal Murray does that stuff a lot. We've seen him do it. Just go up and just take over the game and score 50, 60 points.
But keep in mind the caveat is, I feel like when Nikola's out, the team still tries to play. Yeah, if he's in the game,
right.
We're saying Nikola Jokic doesn't even exist, so that offense is still kind of running like Nikola's in the game, even though he's catching a breather on the bench. They're not even doing that. It's a completely.
And they tried to, because it was what happens now is Reggie Jackson comes in and it turns into a isolation game, and that's what he thinks he needs to do. That's what he thinks he needs to do when he comes in to do those non-Joker minutes. And sometimes that like they tried to remember what was his name, Plumlee. They tried to bring Plumlee in, and he was going to come in and play those non-Jokic minutes, and they were going to try to do this high screen and rolls with him, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. and they were trying to hope, and maybe Zeke Najee can kind of do that a little bit. DeAndre Jordan he can come in a fill-in role, and they can run some sets and stuff with him doing that pick and roll, but they're going to shift somebody to him, and they'll do some kind of defensive adjustment that Joker would compute and fix, and DeAndre Jordan maybe wouldn't fix it that fast or even have the tools to do that. It's the things that Joker does that makes this team what it is. And you compare it to a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander or even see if it's not Joker, in my eyes, it's Luka, if anything. But I feel like that's even tough to say because Luka's got Kyrie,
You take Luka off that Dallas team. What are they?
They got Kyrie.
Okay, but if you take Jokic off the Nuggets, you still have Jamal.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know right now if I'm going to say that Jamal Murray and Kyrie Irving are the same player. Kyrie Irving's a little better. Yeah. I think so. And for me, Kyrie Irving he's just got that. Did you see that sky hook with the left hand over?
He's never been able to lead a team without a LeBron, without a Kevin Durant.
He hasn't had. Yeah.
He has. I think he is the Robin to someone's Batman. He can't do it by himself. I'm not saying Jamal can without a Jokic, because let's face it, Jamal
right now is a Robin. Yeah, Jamal is a Robin. Yeah. I don't know either with Kyrie, but
who was Kyrie?
But as far let's look at it this way: who's the better Robin in this situation?
I think it's Jamal,
and I would go with Kyrie in this situation as the better Robin, even though But again, I think Kyrie's a little.
It's kind of hard to compare because Jamal's always had Jokic. Kyrie's had LeBron. He's had Kevin Durant, and now
he's had Kevin Durant, James Harden. Right.
It's hard because Jamal's always had Jokic, so it's almost hard to compare it.
Yeah, but I
will say Kyrie. The only thing I would say Kyrie edges Jamal out is ball handling. The skills that Kyrie has with ball handling and getting around people, Jamal's not too far behind. Jamal can get himself into the paint and makes terrific plays at the rim.
And you know what's crazy is that
by the way, the game winner by Kyrie was all luck. By the way,
it was. And
left-handed.
You and I are the only ones that can have this conversation because the one thing that when you talk about, you compare Kyrie and Jamal Murray, the one thing that will get thrown out immediately is Jamal Murray's not even an all-star. You and I know what kind of player he is. You and I believe in our hearts he is an all-star, but that's the first thing that'll get thrown out is he's not even an all-star. And then we're gonna compare him to Kyrie Irving. That's what we'll get like. That's why you and I can have this conversation, but it would be a tough one.
Who votes for all-stars? Fans.
Fans, and I look. I'm with you. Jamal Murray should have been an all-star 2 seasons ago.
Again, but Joker's hurting his chances of being an all-star. That's why.
I really think that if he wouldn't have been hurt this year, I really think he would have been an all-star this year, coming off of the playoffs. And if he wouldn't have been injured,
he didn't miss too many games before.
It was significant time during that all-star period where if he would have played in it, it wouldn't have made a difference because he wouldn't have been able to play because he was still coming back. It was just a bad timing for him this year. He's definitely, if he's healthy, he's an all-star.
By the way, here's a picture of Joel Embiid's candidacy for MVP right there. So he just sent that into the league office. Anyway, so, okay, who else is there? Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You take him off this young Thunder team, I think they're still pretty decent.
I don't know. I'm not going to say they're a playing team.
Yeah.
They're a playing team.
I mean, you would still have Chet Holmgren. You would still have Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
You would still have Josh Giddey. I just feel dirty saying his name, but I mean, you still have that young core, but I will say the caveat for the Thunder is Shea missed 4 games in a row the last week or so. I think they went 0-4.
Yeah, and it's so I like I said, I think Shea makes the Thunder a top 3, top 5 seed in the West. You take Shea off that team, they're a playing team. They're fighting for a playing spot.
Well, I think
so. Is that MVP?
I think you take all these guys who are MVP candidates off their teams, they're fighting for a play-in team.
Yeah,
Play-in
true.
spot.
So you can you can compare that up and down the list then, I guess. So I mean, but in that case that I think that I think to compare it to Joker again, the way and it drives me crazy that Shaq and Kenny say that stuff, because Shaq was given Joker. I think what happened is Shaq just decided to stop giving Joker all these flowers and to move on to somebody for some reason, because he was all over.
He called him the big honey.
He did. He calls him the best big man in the world, and he was the best. He could be. You know, Shaq said a lot of stuff like that, and then all of a sudden he's just going to Shea, and it just. Because you just got to watch take the stats, throw them out the window. Take the fact that he's a big, unathletic white guy, throw him out the window. Watch the basketball games and see how he affects the game when he's on and off the court. That tells you what an MVP is in this situation through the NBA. If you want to say it's the player that scores the most points and has the most offensive categories and the highest, then make that the criteria. But don't act like that you can't look at Nikola Jokic and say that he doesn't change the way the Denver Nuggets play basketball if he's not on the court.
I'm even having a hard time saying they're a play-in team, Matt. Like, I don't know what.
With Murray, they are with Murray. But if Murray, like if Murray was hurt all that time, Murray was out, and there was no Joker.
We're assuming everyone's healthy, just without Joker.
So say Joker's out. Joker's gone. We don't. The Nuggets don't have Joker.
It's the
Murray and Kentavious Caldwell.
Thanos did this. He clicked his Infinity Stones, and Jokic disappeared.
Joker's gone. So you got Murray. You got AG. You got
starting at center. Are you starting?
Let's put. I would put Zeke there, but because he's a vet and starter, he doesn't really have to do a lot. Like, he could play 5 minutes and then come out. I put DeAndre. I would start DeAndre Jordan, and then I would go. You got who's that? KCP on the other wing, and then who would be the two? Who am I forgetting?
KCP's usually the two.
KCP's the two. Who's the three? AG. MPJ's who's the guy I'm forgetting. Because AG's the four. So there you go. You have that five. And then say you take Murray out of there. Who fills that? Reggie Jackson comes in?
That's tough.
So that whole time Murray's out.
I like Reggie. But he makes a lot of
I love Reggie too. And I understand Reggie. That's why I don't get too mad at him. But I understand him. But you take Murray out for however long Murray was out. And the Nuggets, how many of those games do they win?
It's tough.
Not a lot of them.
They barely beat Portland.
Not a lot of them.
Without a Jamal Murray, without a Jokic. Colin Gillespie had a good game.
So then you look at Murray, then that's vindication for Murray. He should be an all-star. I thought Murray, if he didn't get injured, was going to have an MVP season this year. That's what I thought going into it, because I thought coming off those playoffs, he was just going to grow the momentum he had. He was going to take it into the season, and I thought he was going to be an MVP candidate this year.
I mean, he was,
but he got hurt.
He was to start. He played really well. Again, these nagging injuries is just tough for Jamal. But he's back to, he just scored 35 points. I get it was in a loss, but you want to be playing pretty well for yourself heading into the playoffs. So we will see. The play-in tournament will start on Tuesday. That'll go through next Thursday. So that'll be the play-in games. A couple of Eastern Conference games, Matt, are already set in stone. Let me pull it up here, but I think the Chicago Bulls know who they are playing. So some of these teams are already down to go. And I said Atlanta season's over. It's not, by the way. So Atlanta will be playing Chicago, Matt, that 9-10 matchup. So that is the play-in tournament as it stands right now. Philadelphia will be playing Miami in the play-in tournament. So those are your 4 play-in teams. Indiana's the 6, Orlando the 5, Cleveland the 4. Knicks, Bucks, and Celtics are your 5 through 1. And over in the Western Conference, Matt, the Phoenix, how about Phoenix has fallen out of the top 6. So they are playing in tournament right now. As it stands right now, the Warriors will be playing the Kings, the Lakers, and Phoenix. And then Pelicans, Dallas, Clippers, Nuggets, Minnesota, OKC are your 6 through 1. And how about this? Denver, Minnesota, OKC are all tied for the number 1 spot at 56 and 25. Unfortunately, the Thunder and the Timberwolves have the tiebreaker over Denver,
Yep.
and OKC has a better conference record than either of them. So that's why they are technically the number 1. And if you notice, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has come back for 4 games, Matt, and they're undefeated in those 4. So it's going to be an exciting time come next week.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I'm not too worried about the first round matchups. It's just however the next round can go, how everything settles up. That's where you're kind of looking at where you might not have the home seed, or you might not have the home court advantage, what I'm trying to say. And do I think Denver necessarily needs that? No.
I think they would need it in the first round.
Yeah, and they would have it. They would.
Yeah.
They would have it, because that would be because the one plays 8, 2 plays, or I'm sorry, one plays not. Yeah, one plays. Shoot, I got confused. One plays 8.
The winner of the one will play the winner of 9 and 10.
Right, and that would be the 8
seed. 2 will play the winner of 7 and 8.
And
so the worst the Nuggets can finish is 3rd seed,
and they would play the 6th seed,
and they would be playing New Orleans, and they've done okay against New Orleans.
The Pelicans. Yeah, and I mean,
I think
New Orleans presents Zion presents a different.
Healthy Zion is terrifying.
Yeah, he presents a different kind of problem that I think is going to be good for the Nuggets, and then like a good test in the first round to get tested like this, just like they did last year with Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But
that was a pre-dominant Anthony Edwards.
Right. So
and I think Gobert was still getting dunked on. So
yeah, Gobert. God, that one night when man, dude, he was. Yeah, so I think, like I said, I think they'll get out of there, and I don't know. I really don't know what to do with the Lakers, and I really don't know what to do with Golden State.
See, I don't mind Golden State. I think the Nuggets match up well with Golden State. I last year I was fearful of Phoenix. This year they haven't won a game against Phoenix.
Right.
So
and Grayson Allen makes me nervous.
Cannot miss threes at Ball Arena for some reason.
Yeah.
So I'm a little fearful of Phoenix, but they have fallen way down.
They have, but like you said, there's that Phoenix matchup. It would be that's what, because Nurkic doesn't. He's Nurkic. We all know what he's going to do, but he does present some kind of an issue.
He's a hell of a step up from DeAndre
Ayton. Yes, he presents more to it than what DeAndre did. So you would, and then there's more to the Suns now. You're gonna, like I said, Grayson Allen, he might hit a shot here and there that Phoenix might need down the stretch in a game 3 where they can steal one, or they can win one at home, and they've already stolen one in Denver in a game 2 situation because Grayson Allen banged a 3. Yeah. He's a guy that can do stuff like that, and I don't want him. I don't want to see him. I don't want to play him.
It was funny how the Trailblazers and Milwaukee were the main focal point in that trade from Dame going to Portland to Milwaukee, but Phoenix came out of that pretty well.
They did. They did.
Realize that was a 3-team trade.
Because I don't KD's KD. I think he's getting old, and I don't think he can do. Yeah, he might be able to get you a game in the playoffs, maybe, but I think Booker's deadly, and we don't know what you're gonna get from Bradley Beal, but other than Booker, man, if Booker gets going, he can really make it a series. So that's a team that I would definitely be really interested to see how the Nuggets would handle them. But I would hope it would be because they would be the 6th seed if they stayed the same way. And I think the 2 seed would play the next lowest seed if I understand it, but I don't know.
Yeah. So again, if the playoffs were to start today, OKC would be playing the winner of Sacramento Golden State. And wait a minute. Isn't there 3? I thought there were 3 playing games because, yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
So if Golden State beats Sacramento's out, and then
Right.
the winner of LA Phoenix plays Golden State, and Is that right?
Yeah, like one of them. So the 7 seed plays the 8 seed, and then if whoever
The
wins that
loser of
game is
that
this
game becomes the
is
8th,
the
right?
exactly, yeah.
And the
Well,
winner
no,
of
no,
that next game becomes the 7th
no. The winner of the 7-8 seed becomes the 7 seed. The 8 seed will play the
automatically.
winner of the 9-10 seed,
Yeah.
and then that's to decide the 8 seed.
Yeah. Okay. So the winner of Phoenix LA. So say Phoenix beats LA. Phoenix is automatically the 7th seed. The Lakers will play the winner of Sacramento Golden State for the 8th seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we can't really say how it stands right. We don't know who
We don't know
is
yet.
going to play.
Exactly.
We don't know
So
who Minnesota's going to play. Again, this is if the playoffs were to end now. Denver would be playing New Orleans, and then Clippers would be playing Dallas. That'll be a good series. Clippers and Dallas.
and the Clippers have taken kind of a dump too, a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm happy too for, I don't like Phoenix, but I'm glad I see Isaiah Thomas got signed for the rest of the season in Phoenix. Couple-year journey getting back into the NBA.
Is he going to have an impact? Is he going to play? Or
Well, let's see. He's the same size as Allen Iverson's statue, so I don't know how much of an impact. But I was at the Phoenix game in Denver, Matt, and I was hoping he'd get into the game, but he never did.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean that's a cool story. Cool story, bro.
Wasn't he in Denver for a cup of coffee?
I guess I don't even remember if he even played.
He's been all over. He's been all over.
But he was here.
His most significant time was in Boston when they made the conference finals, and then he got traded.
That was so weird, wasn't
traded
it?
Like the day his sister died or something.
Yeah,
it was bad.
That was so weird. That whole situation was odd.
Yeah. So good for Isaiah Thomas. At least for not a lot of guys can get into his position fighting for a roster spot in the NBA. So congratulations to him at least for sticking on and getting signed throughout. Those 10-day contracts are weird too. And then you have those, what do they call them at when you're, it's got to be exhausting to go from the G League two-way guys.
The two-way guys, yeah.
Because, like, say, for example, Colin Gillespie on Denver, he's flying from Grand Rapids to wherever the Nuggets are playing to wherever Grand Rapids is playing. That would be exhausting. That's almost as tough as being a full-time NBA player. You're traveling a lot more than you're on a plane pretty much every day if you're a two-way guy.
It's a grind.
Yeah. And I guess that's just part of it. That's just part of the journey, part of the grind. So that's crazy, though, two-way guys. I give them a lot of credit. And it's even tough to make a G League roster, let alone hanging on to an NBA roster.
Right.
That's just crazy. I don't know, Ernie. That's crazy.
That's crazy, Ernie.
That's terrible. All right, Matt. Before we head on out of here, what are your Masters thoughts so far?
Oh boy, Mike. I don't know how much of this have you watched, if any. Have you watched any of the Masters? Do you
I can honestly say I have watched 0 seconds of it.
So today has been incredibly exciting. And again, today is Saturday, right? Did we already say that? Or did I ruin it?
No, we're pre-recording on Saturday.
Okay, just making sure. So this is as of now, but I'm sure the way it's going, because the rounds are almost over, and like the leaders that I'm looking at are on 17 and 15. So I'm pretty sure if a lot of issues don't happen, this is going to stay the way it is. But right now, Scotty Scheffler is leading the tournament. Colin Morikawa, Max Homa, Bryson DeChambeau, Lowe's Aberg, Xander Schauffele, Tommy Fleetwood, Cameron Young, Chris Davis, and Hogegaard. I always screw that name up. Are rounding out the top 6, and then there's a tie for that's a tie for 6. So that's basically the top 10, and then everything there's a tie for 11th. But there has been a lot of movement. I've been kind of watching this, and just within the past, I would say 3 or 4 holes, Aberg was up atop of the leaderboard. He was at 4 under for the day. He dropped 2 shots back to go drop down all the way to 5th. Scheffler was down almost. He was +2 for today. He is 1 under today, so he has gone on a tear these past couple holes. Colin Morikawa is 3 under for today, playing very well. DeChambeau's +1, Homa's +1, so they dropped a couple shots back off the lead at 5 under as they started the tournament. I started this round at 6 under, so it looks like Scotty Scheffler kind of was he's the favorite to win this Masters tournament. And he was kind of, he kind of does what Scotty Scheffler does. It looked like he was nosing the plane down a little bit, and then he kind of got it right going now at 7 under, and he's 1 under, and the past 3 holes he's just been on absolute fire. So this Masters tournament is going to be pretty fun to watch tomorrow as it winds down. Tiger Woods, if you're wondering how Tiger Woods is, he looks terrible. He looks absolutely terrible. The one thing he did to this week is make the cut, and he broke a record for it. And that's all I kind of wanted to see him do. And what I mean by he looks terrible is his health. If he doesn't get in a golf cart, he's not going to be able to participate in these tournaments anymore. And I know all he wanted to do is try to golf in 1 tournament a month. But if he doesn't get in a golf cart, it's not going to happen. He can still play golf. He can still hit the shots. He can make the putts. He can do what he needs to do on the golf course. But his body can't handle the walk. And if he, like I said, and he's not going to do it, he's not going to get in a cart and run the cart because he would get special permission and stuff like that because usually you can't. But if he doesn't get in a cart, he's not going to be able to participate in these tournaments. His body just can't handle it. And it sucks that's what it is. But Father Time's undefeated, as they say. And it looks like to be with Tiger Woods as he finishes today 9 over. And just not a good showing today for Tiger Woods, but it was mostly because of his health. So look for Scotty Scheffler, and I think Colin Morikawa or Max Homa is going to make a run at it tomorrow. Bryson's going to have some fun, and but everybody else is just trying to nip hills at this point. But it's going to be a fun tournament to watch tomorrow for sure.
Also, this just came down the wire. Breaking news, Matt, and this is a surprise to everyone. Chris Bryant leaves the game with a stiff back, so.
I thought you said breaking news.
Yeah, that is the first time we've ever heard of this. And
that's usually.
I don't know. Is he not bringing his Tempur-Pedic bed with him to Toronto? What's up with that?
I don't know. I guess not, right?
By the way, the other day, the world lost a very infamous athlete / I don't even know what you would call him outside of sports, man. But O.J. Simpson passed away the other day. What are your thoughts on OJ and does the glove still not fit?
Here's the only thing. Like I was telling somebody yesterday, like I remember playing him on Tecmo Bowl, and that was my joy.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Hey, when he got the ball in the backfield, he was deadly. Give him a knife, deadly.
Deadly, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I got. He was a hell of a football player. That's all I got.
Too soon.
It's just I could go so many. We could. Like I don't know if I sent you this, but I was gonna send you this meme of his hearse, and it was the Bronco, but turned into a. Yeah. I don't know. It's just wild, man.
A lot of people are posting. People are like, you know how you pour out liquor when someone died? People are pouring out orange juice. Yeah.
It's unfortunate when people pass away.
And I just saw this too. O.J. Simpson's estate is fighting a $33.5 million payout from 1997 for wrongful death ruling. So.
Oh, geez.
There's that. There is that. You're going to play some golf right now.
I am. I'm going to go get a twilight round in.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy. It's kind of windy, and the cloud. I don't know what the clouds are doing out here. It's like, what's going on?
If you're wondering, if you're just joining us, we're about to get out of here. I'm not wearing this shirt to cheer for Tiger Woods. It looks like one of his classic red Nikes. It is not. It is for the Denver Pioneers. Again, we're pre-recording that game. By the way, it is getting underway right now. So, once again, the Denver Pioneers in the NCAA Hockey Championship. Again, 5 minutes to go in the first period. It is a scoreless tie right now. Number 3, Denver, and number 1, Boston College. So we will maybe talk about that a little bit on Monday night. Monday night, Matt and I will be back here on Full Court Press as we will do a live, first ever, by the way, on Elevation History. First live WNBA show. So for the
Are we going to be the only one in the world doing one? Or do you think there's going to be more?
I'm sure Diana Taurasi's slamming some of them at some point.
DT.
There is that. Who is her co-host? They have like that little Manning cast. Who is that again? Oh, it's Sue Bird.
Sue Bird.
I do like Sue Bird.
And I liked. I like Kelsey Plume. I like who's married
that's
to.
What I was gonna ask you. Yeah, she's married to what's his face.
The Darren Waller.
Yeah, lucky man. But
very lucky man.
I was gonna say, did it bother you that she never really put out anything when Caitlin Clark broke her record? She didn't really say much.
She didn't. I didn't notice that. I didn't notice if she did.
Unless I missed it. Unless maybe I'm completely wrong. But I went on Instagram and I tried to see if Kelsey, she like rehashes stuff, retweeting stuff, I don't know what you call it when you reshare a picture on it. Are you re-Instaing? I don't know what that's called. But when you repost something, basically, she did repost like, stuff that Iowa posted, but she didn't really say congrats. But I don't know. Maybe she's pulling a Diana Taurasi, just not saying anything about it. I don't know. But I do like Kelsey Plum.
Yeah. Yep.
She's a fun follow, by the way, on Instagram too.
Yeah, I follow her. I do. I'll have I'm sure you'll have your Caitlin Clark jersey, so we'll be biased as hell.
I'm so hoping my Indiana Fever one comes in, but I don't think it will.
Oh yeah. I might go run and get a Diana Taurasi jersey then, and just kind of balance the show.
Just be doing the show by myself.
I'll be blurred out. I'll be like this.
You'll be censored.
I'll be like that.
You'll have the blurry over the name.
Over the jersey.
Yeah, we can't show that on the internet.
That's dirty.
All right, but that is going to do it for us. Don't forget to go to all the social media pages. Go to our home base, e5280sports.com. A lot of new content on there. By the way, we will have your favorite, Matt. We're having a new fighting show premiering right after we get off. It's called the Slugfest with Rich and Gus. Check it out. That is dropping here in just a couple of, I'm talking like we're live on Sunday. Yeah. But it is dropping here in just a couple of moments on e5280sports.com. It'll be on Spotify. It'll be on YouTube. Make sure you go to all those outlets and like us, follow us, subscribe to us. And again, this podcast also brought to you by Pikes Peak Sports Cards. So go, if you're in the Denver area, make the trek down to Colorado Springs. Go check out Pikes Peak Sport Card. All your sports cards, all of your Pokemon cards, and come strike gold at Pikes Peak's card show as well. So don't forget to go check them out. They have some deals online as well. So please go check them out as well. We're still trying to get a couple of guests on here, whether it is Nate Ferguson, whether it is Cam Becker, to talk about the rise in women's sports. It's been a couple weeks in the making, but we're still trying. So hang on tight for them as well. Matt, any parting thoughts?
The Avs just lost 7-0.
Yeah, it was 5-0 like 2 minutes ago.
I guess these Denver teams, these Colorado teams, just terrible.
Yeah, they're just like it's the end of the season. We're done.
They're done.
We're in playoff mode.
Oh boy.
But that is going to do it for us. Don't forget, go to our Facebook page, Instagram page, X page, like us, follow us, retweet, whatever. And before I forget, Matt, the winner of our March Madness tournament bracket challenge, let me pull up the screen here. It is. There you go. It is Alex. As you can see right there, Alex is our winner. Alex right here. So congratulations to Alex. He picked UConn to win it all. He got a possible 128 points. He just beat out Andre. By the way, go check out Andre's podcast. He does a boxing podcast Monday through Thursday. Go check that out. His stuff is right on our front page on Spotify. So make sure you go check that out. Nick from Undrafted Uncensored came in third. And there you go, Matt. I finished in 10th. This is the bracket I had. Arizona, Matt. Here you are, Matt. You finished 12th.
12th?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Look at that.
You had 78 points. The winner had 128.
I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were
right. Almost.
You were up there.
If almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah. Or what does Dwight say? If everything was, what does he say?
Does he
Say
have
that
an
phrase
almost?
again.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, then every day would be gluten fest or
They're
whatever.
never-
Whatever Dwight says.
yeah. I remember now.
Yeah.
I remember.
By the way,
now.
Rainn Wilson's going to be in Denver for Comic-Con this year, so I'm super excited.
Nice.
Yeah. But we're going to get out of here. Matt's got to go tee off, and I got to go back to doing nothing. So we're going to get out of here.
Have fun.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't forget, Monday night we will be back with our live WNBA draft show. It'll be called Full Court Press, so stay tuned for that. Again, just go like, subscribe, share to help us out. For Matt Mascarenas, I am Michael Spillane. We will talk to you next week.